Fox News hosts and many right now do not understand how government works at a fundamental level. It's sort of convenient that I have a clip from Fox to show you, but there are so many people out there who have the misunderstanding that if Elon Musk identifies fraud and cancels some program, that money, which was allocated on paper, now can be used for some other thing that they like.
In today's video, David Pakman absolutely destroys Fox News for peddling MAGA nonsense about Doge and government spending. Fox, as always, is hyping up Musk as some kind of financial genius, acting like slashing government programs while throwing billions at corporations is some kind of masterstroke. Pakman, though, he isn't having any of it. We're talking about the same Musk who's taken billions in government subsidies while pretending he's some free market hero. And now the same Fox crowd pushing Doge as the future of money, like it's some flawless solution to government inefficiency. So let's dive in and watch how David Pakman shuts down Fox News in this video.
And the way Fox is pushing this narrative is by saying, hey, all this fraud that Elon is uncovering because of Doge, we are going to take the money from the fraud, from the DEI initiatives, and we are now going to get checks. That money is going to be reallocated. We just cut the government budget. We'll send refunds to everybody. We'll be able to get houses. We'll be able to get cars, and it's all going to happen very quickly. Now, let's play the clip. Obviously, just from the way I described it, I'm sure 99% of my audience understands that's not the way government works, but people at Fox News seem to think it is. So let's take a listen.
When you are finding all of this money, when you are taking it back, when you are cutting off future streams of funding, give that back to the American people. Then you will see the economy absolutely explode. And people will once again be able to take out new loans and start new businesses and all the wonderful things that follow when they have more of their own money.
Right. So I want to address this in three parts: the fraud angle, the what happens to the money angle, and the they don't really want to spend that money anyway. So first, let's talk about the fraud angle. Fraud exists in government programs. There's no doubt. I mean, every large system deals with fraud, whether it's public or whether it's private. The idea that Elon Musk or anybody is uncovering massive, previously unknown pots of money that are just sitting there waiting to be redistributed to the public is frankly absurd. Government budgets are tracked, audited, and accounted for. Sometimes they find fraud. If you find fraud, the money goes back into the program it was stolen from or just into the general treasury. It doesn't turn into a slush fund where people start getting direct payments. It just doesn't work that way. So now let's talk about cutting DEI programs. These are initiatives designed to address systemic inequities in hiring, in education, and in other areas. You might like those programs or you might not. That's okay. That's not what's at issue here. If you cut those programs, the money that is saved doesn't vanish into thin air, but it also doesn't get funneled into people's bank accounts. It either gets reallocated to other government programs. And remember, since we run a deficit, it's not like if you cut a program, all of a sudden there's money there. It just reduces the amount of the deficit that you're running. There's no mechanism that would convert that savings that you get from cutting a program that Elon crosses off with a Sharpie into any kind of payment to people who live in the United States. It's just not how any of it works.
Alright, Fox News is at it again, pushing this fantasy that Elon Musk and his precious Doge initiatives are somehow uncovering massive piles of government waste that will magically be refunded to Americans. According to them, Musk is some genius watchdog who's slashing DEI programs and government fraud, and now poof! Everybody's getting checks in the mail. The economy will boom and small businesses will thrive. Yeah, that's not how the government works, and David Pakman is here to tear this nonsense apart. First off, fraud exists in every large system, public and private, But the idea that Musk is exposing unknown hidden treasure troves of money is absurd. Government budgets are tracked, audited, and accounted for. If fraud is found, the money doesn't turn into some free cash pile. It goes back into the program it was stolen from or back to the general treasury. No one's getting a Tesla off this supposed Musk magic. Then there's this whole cutting DEI programs will save the country argument. Look, you can have opinions about these programs, but cutting them doesn't mean Americans suddenly get a payday. It just reallocates funds everywhere or slightly reduces the deficit. The reality, cutting these programs does nothing but gut initiatives meant to address systematic inequalities, all while Fox pretends it's some grand economic plan. You know who else loves spinning reality like Fox News though? Every biased news outlet. Are you getting tired of getting half the story from biased news sources? One outlet says one thing and another says the complete opposite. How are you supposed to know what's actually true? That's where ground news comes in. It lets you compare how different media outlets, left, right, and center are covering the same story. So you can see the full picture instead of just the echo chamber. And here's the best part. Click the link in the description and get 40% off the Vantage tier, which gives you even deeper insights into media bias and political trends. Stay informed, think for yourself, and check out Ground News in the description down below.
But then this gets us to the even bigger issue, which is that a lot of these people, anytime you say, hey, did you know that we spent, make it up, we spent $1 million on some program that I don't like. They go, oh, we should take that money and we should give it to housing homeless veterans or something like that. But aside from the fact that that's not how it works and the money has to be allocated, voted on, then distributed, forget about the fact that it doesn't work that way. When you actually go to a lot of these very same people and you go, hey, you know what? We would be far better off dealing with poverty and homelessness by just giving houses and health care to people. And then the savings from getting them out of the emergency rooms and getting them off the street is huge. They go, no, they haven't earned that. They don't deserve that. We can't just give stuff away to people. So it's also naive to think that they're even sincere about the idea that that's what they want to do. Now, I think it's worth saying one other thing about the DEI programs. They are now scapegoating DEI by arguing this is not a useful way to spend any money. But we're talking about drops in the bucket. I'm not even saying that there's only one perspective on whether it's worth the money. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But my point is, the other day, Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump's press secretary, held up a piece of paper and said, look, Elon found $30,000 that went to a DEI program in a multi-billion-dollar organization. That's like nothing. Even if you eliminated every single one of those DEI programs, it would do nothing relative to the federal budget. And they are fantasizing about people getting, $2,000 checks. And then absolutely the last thing here, the timeline that they have in mind, that Elon crossing stuff off in February is going to get anybody money in March or April. Put aside the fact that it doesn't work that way, put aside the fact that the budgeting doesn't function in that way. Have we ever seen money at the federal government level reallocated and disposed of that quickly? It is completely and laughably divorced from reality.
First off, let's talk about the nonsense that cutting DEI programs or eliminating small-scale initiatives is going to fix the economy somehow. Caroline Leavitt literally held up a piece of paper bragging about finding $30,000 in DEI funding in a multi-billion-dollar budget. Like, congrats? You just found a rounding error. Even if you cut every DEI program in existence, it wouldn't even make a dent in federal spending. But Fox is acting like Elon Musk is wiping out trillions overnight. And finally, let's talk about this hilarious timeline they're pushing. They're acting like Elon crossing things off in February means people will be cashing government refund checks by April. Since when has the federal government moved that fast? Cutting a program doesn't magically redistribute money overnight. That's not how budgets work. That's not how funding works, and it's definitely not how policy gets passed. But of course, Fox doesn't care about how things actually work. They just want to sell their viewers on a feel-good billionaire fairy tale. At the end of the day, Pakman is right to call this out. Fox and the MAGA crowd are pushing a completely delusional narrative, acting like Musk is some kind of genius cost cutter when in reality he's just crossing out random programs while they cheer on him. But this is it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section down below.